Hey, top AEW Prodigy still hasn't re-signed with the company, with WWE having keen interest. There's some interesting names set for AEW All In later this month. A former WWE star debuts for Ring of Honor, and this AEW favorite has been compared to Vincent van Gogh. Hello and welcome to the Solo Monday News. Myself, Andrew Pollard, here at What Culture Wrestling. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I hope your weekend went as well as it possibly could do. Right, let's get into wrestling topics and let's get into Daniel Garcia. Yes, now Daniel Garcia was written off AEW television last month. There was the attack from MJF as part of MJF's heel turn. That was kind of done because, Daniel Garcia's contract is expiring. So if he doesn't re-sign with the company, then you've written him out of TV. If he does re-sign, you can obviously bring him back as the full of piss and vinegar babyface, looking for some revenge against Maxwell Jacob Freeman, a no-good rascal who is a friend of the channel. Hello, Max. But yes, Fightful Select has a bit of an update on this, just to say that Garcia, as of last week, he's still yet to re-sign with AEW. Somebody who Fightful spoke to, a source they spoke to within AEW, expects Red Death to remain with AEW. But as of right now, that is a case of he's not re-signed. There's no new deal that he's penned, and his contract is due to expire in October. So what, 2 months time? Of course, there is interest from WWE. This is Daniel Garcia, of course, had a tryout with WWE several years ago, and it was the general feeling from that trial and the fallout that you heard was that WWE were very interested in him. They liked what they saw, but it was a case of go out and hone your craft, go out and travel the globe, work different styles, just basically go and get some experience because we like the fundamentals here, but you're still very young. Because even now, Garcia is 25 years of age. I think people forget that how young he is because the dude is so good. There's so much potential there. There's so much ability there already, but then there's so much, it's kind of, you've barely scratched the surface with, I think, what Daniel Garcia could do in the pro wrestling business. So if he opts to remain with AEW, then that's a great get from AEW, and that's somebody who you can essentially, if you use Garcia right and he continues to come along as he does, then it's somebody who could be a major player for the promotion. If he chooses to go to WWE, that is, again, a massive get for WWE. I think it's a case of putting him in NXT for a little bit and then off we go, off to the races, as they say. But yeah, Daniel Garcia, I like to see stuff like this. It's just a talented dude whose ability is being recognized, who can make himself some good money wherever he wants to go, whether it's a case of go to WWE and work the more hectic schedule in terms of house shows, live events, TV tapings, or remain with AEW and work that harder style of match, but fewer matches because of the schedule there. But then that also allows you the opportunity to go and work elsewhere, work independence if you want, go to Japan, go to Mexico. So yeah, there's definitely upside to both options there. But yeah, Garcia got lots of interest. Very talented dude. All right, some other talented people that may make an appearance. I have no idea because we don't know who they are. But some people, some interesting names are supposedly set for the Casino Gauntlet match at AEW All In later this month. Now, it's been announced that the winner of this match, the Casino Gauntlet, will get a guaranteed world title shot. Now, Fightful Select has a little bit of an update on this that basically says that they've been told that AEW will be loading up the Casino Gauntlet match with interesting names. Now, who are those interesting names? We don't know, but it's interesting to talk about and speculate. I mean, for me, one I'd like to see there is Michael Oku, just a guy that's been killing it for years. Bobby Lashley is now a free agent. I know he's recovering from a kind of unspecified injury, but he seems to think he'd be, there was an interview he did recently, I can't remember where it was, so apologies for that, where he basically said that, I can be, within a month, I reckon I'd be cleared. So who knows? Bobby Lashley's a free agent. Maybe somebody returns who we've not seen for a while. Ricky Starks, my boy Ricky. What have they done to you? Maybe Wardlow. Maybe Nigel McGuinness, which would be an absolute waste of Nigel McGuinness. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Maybe Simon Miller. I have no inside scoops there, but hey, maybe that's one. Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid. There's rumblings that he may have actually signed a deal with the company lately. So maybe he's there. Of course, the nephew of the original Dynamite Kid. Give me Charles Crowley, the spectacular twat. That would pop me. But yeah, you've got to think as well, these interesting names, and the winner of this match, it's got to be somebody who is a player or potential to be a player, because as mentioned, there's a guaranteed world title shot here. So you're not just going to give that to some schlub, shall we say. But yes, let us know in the comments who you would like to see in that Casino Gauntlet match at All In. There's so much potential there. Shelton Benjamin, a free agent who just, God, who does not like Shelton Benjamin? It seems like the nicest dude and a hell of a talent. Now, another person who seems like a nice dude is Reggie. Yes, the former Scripps, the former Reggie, now going by Sidney Akeem, who made his debut yesterday for Ring of Honor. This is something that was picked up on by various news outlets, including the Wrestling Observer, where, yes, Sidney Akeem made his ROH debut at the Tapings from Arlington, Texas on Sunday, so yesterday, went up against Johnny TV in a match that I will not spoil in case the 3 Ring of Honor fans are watching this video. I joke. Yeah, it's ROH, man, what's happening? But anyway, yes, so Sidney Akeem is in Ring of Honor. There's no word on if he's been signed, if this is just a case of like, right, here's a match against Johnny TV, let's see what you can do, maybe we'll bring you back for some more dates. Now this is someone who left WWE in June when it was just a case of his contract wasn't extended. There was no release per se. He was told ahead of time. He made it public ahead of time. I think it was maybe April that he made it public and announced that, yeah, when my deal's up in June, they're not renewing. And it seemed like he was like absolutely fine with that. He had a good time there, no bad beef, no bad bones, no gripes. It was just sometimes these things don't particularly work out. He has worked some independent dates since then, including, is it 3 or 4 matches for GCW? Either way, he's done a few shows for GCW. And now it might be a case that he pops up more regularly in Ring of Honor. So Sidney Akeem debuted for ROH yesterday. As for when that will air, I'm not too sure. As for who will watch it, not too sure. Again, I joke. I can't help myself with Ring of Honor because it used to be so good back in the day, and now it's just a shell. Oh, what have you done? Anyway, right. Speaking of the Wrestling Observer there, Dave Meltzer has stirred up some interesting conversations on Twitter last night, on X, shall I say, where I woke up this morning, it's like, what's going on here? And yes, there's just so many back and forths that Dave got into about Tomohiro Ishii. Now, I really like Ishii. I think he's great. He's fantastic. I know he's Andy Murray's personal favorite wrestler of all time. But Dave Meltzer, this all kind of came about in response to a Jim Valley comment. Jim Valley just, a great asset to the rest of the business he's been over the years. But yes, Jim Valley made a comment about wrestlers coming in all shapes and sizes, which they do. That's kind of part of the charm of professional wrestling. There's no, especially these days, there's no set look that you have to make it in the business. And in response to that, Dave put, it boggles my mind people don't get Ishii. Incredible seller. Watch people post no-sell clips and miss entirely what I said. Timing like you wouldn't believe. If there was an art form for the term knowing when to do what, he's Van Gogh. Van Gogh, Van Gogh, Van Gogh, as it is in Dutch, because I was like, how am I pronouncing this? Which way am I going? Because I know we bastardize the name here in the UK, and I believe Americans do as well. So I went with the Dutch, and it's Van Gogh. So yes, basically Dave Meltzer is comparing Tomohiro Ishii to Vincent Van Gogh. And of course, that set off a bunch of replies to Dave, and that set off a bunch of replies from Dave. So yeah, it's like, what's all this griping and beefing? Why is Ishii trending on Twitter? Oh, it's because Dave Meltzer said this, and he's compared him to Vincent Van Gogh. Now, like I said, I really like Tomohiro Ishii, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I think he's great. I could do less with less of the forearm shots that you see. There was the match with Swerve Strickland recently where I think it's Rob Van Dam started throwing out some shade with that, because that's just one of my little bugbears where it's like the no sell, let's just forearm each other in the face lots. And in some ways that works really well. In other ways, it just looks lazy and sloppy, and there is no selling. But no, Tomohiro Ishii is absolutely great. Will I compare him to arguably the greatest artist of all time? Possibly not, but hey, my artists are people like Pete Fowler, who does Super Furry Animals artwork, so I cannot comment on the art world. But that has been it for the morning news. Another great video is here. Continue your YouTube adventure, as Phil Chambers would say. I've been Andrew Pollard, What Culture of Wrestling. Have fun, be well. I'll be back later on today.